One of the most powerful cards in Edge of Eternities is the humble Cryogen Relic, a fact that will come as no surprise to any seasoned limited player, but may seem completely baffling to new or casual players who think that Magic is about playing creatures and then turning them sideways, and otherwise being aggressive and attempting to end the game. No, indeed, Relic is heir to a great and noble line of durdling artifacts, which are generally incredibly good. Even the simple Prophetic Prism, a 2-mana artifact that fixes your mana just a little bit, is much better than an earlier you might have thought that it was. And Cryogen Relic is so much better than Prophetic Prism. And if you are one of those people who knows what I'm talking about with Cryogen Relic, leave a like. And if you'd like a short, every day discussing every rare and mythic in every standard set, subscribe to the channel. Let's start with the basics. What's written on the card, as it were. Cryogen Relic is 2 mana, draw 2 card. Because it doesn't check for the manner in which it leaves the battlefield, making drawing the second card incredibly trivial. You can trigger it with basically any card that interacts with artifacts in any particular way. We haven't had an effect like this since Experimental Synthesizer in Neo Kamigawa, and that was a card that also saw constructed play based entirely off how incredibly easy it was just to impulse additional cards, and the fact that having a cheap artifact to interact with that wants to be interacted with just makes so many decks work incredibly well. Cryogen Relic is absolutely the successor to Experimental Synthesizer in this space. It costs 2 mana, but it draws a card, and it draws that card twice. Absolutely worth it, purely off its mana efficiency. I really cannot stress it enough. If you're trying to become a better drafter, a better sealed player, just generally increasing your limited win rate, really learn to pick out when these 2 mana artifacts have crossed the line into being absolutely incredibly busted. Your carrot cakes, your Bumbleflowers share pots, your unstable amulets, which, I mean, look, we're talking about a straight to modern set. Obviously, the unstable amulet was going to be insane, but oh my god, look at unstable amulet. That thing is crazy. Spending your early turns generating resources to go off later is absolutely an incredibly viable game plan in basically any format, but especially in Limited, where aggressive decks are almost never finely tuned enough to punish you for spending turn 2 not playing a creature. Now, I will note, the decks are absolutely prepared to punish you for spending turn 2 doing nothing, draft your 2-drops, but spending turn 2 playing a Cryogen Relic will win you the game sometimes. Even in Edge of Eternities Limited, you have Exosuit Savior to combo with a turn 2 Cryogen Relic and give you essentially a Mull Drifter, a card that absolutely should never be overlooked and should be just slam-picked over most mythics, frankly. You can make a comparison to the recent Carrot Cake, a card that's in white and generates a creature and 40% of a card, because that's how often you're generally tucking the card you've scryed back into your deck, but needs to be specifically sacrificed, and is considered incredible because you can sacrifice it to food synergy based cards instead of paying the 2 mana to gain 3 life and get the additional 40% of a card and a 1/1 creature. Cryogen Relic lets you spend 2 mana to freeze a creature down for a turn and draw a card. Actually just straight up a playable effect in some standard matchups. You can sacrifice this card to Embrace Oblivion. You can just jam it late game off the top of your deck and be a 4 mana draw 2 cards, which is absolutely perfectly playable and really a thing that you generally want when you're digging late game for your Glacier Godmore to actually end the game. Now, obviously, it would be remiss of me to go this entire video without mentioning the Pixie in the room. Nurturing Pixie, a 1 mana card that bounces the Cryogen Relic back to your hand and gives you a 1 mana flying 2/2 that additionally draws a card. Just absolutely insane. And even going down the list, if we don't have Nurturing Pixie, we have Sunpearl Kirin, a 2 mana flash flying draw a card. Again, still insane. And a lot of the power of these cards comes off this incredible common multiple draw synergy card. I know that a decent number of people who watch my videos take these lessons away and put them in their commander deck. And let me say here, if you don't get copies of Cryogen Relic to put in your commander decks now, by the time that it rotates out of standard, this card is going to be like $5 and you're going to be really upset that you're having to pay that much mana for what used to be a common I don't know, 30-cent card. Cryogen Relic might just be the best common prophetic prism that we've had in the last couple of years. You should absolutely hoard these things if at all possible. Put one of them in every partially blue commander deck that you have, and just enjoy the fact that you inoffensively have 2 additional cards more than the rest of the table who hasn't cottoned on for the rest of time.